wearing upcycled ocean-bound plastics on your wrist. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from the watchmaker Skagen is Creative Director Ian Miller. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Fred. How are you doing?
Doing great. Give us a little bit of background, first of all, about the company before we get into what's brand new here.
Sure. So Skagen was founded in 1989. We have over 30 years experience of making product. Currently, we're focusing on watches and jewelry. And I think this collection is just really exciting that this is bringing to mind or bringing together things that are extremely important and exciting to us. I think we've been on a sustainable mission for a while now, and there's something extremely awesome about the material that we're using in this collection. And we're pairing it back together with our minimalist design. It's something that is just proven to be classic and something that we have a customer base that really appreciates over the course of the last 30 years.
And what we're talking about here is, I guess, the Grenin collection or Grenin Ocean collection. Tell me about it.
Sure. So Grenin, the Grenin platform has been around for decades. This is one of our unspoken flagships of the brand. It's really the epitome for us of what Skagen stands behind. We actually just went through this last year and did kind of an evolution of it. We took a look at all of the typefaces, the surfacing, everything to just make sure that we are modernizing the watch ever so slightly so that we could use new, more modern materials. And one of these materials is #Tide. So I have one of them with me right here. This is our limited edition that's coming out. Solar powered, but really for me, what jumps out for the entire collection is this material, that this is 100% ocean-bound plastic that's gathered. We add a little bit of glass fiber to it when it comes time for the manufacturing process, but that does not negate any of the recyclability of it. So we're truly taking something that would have been floating in the Pacific and turning it into a product. It's very exciting.
Can you tell us any more about the process of how that's done and where the materials are sourced from?
Sure. So #Tide is a company, and they work with organizations in Southeast Asia that they collect this ocean-bound plastic. What's unique about their process is that they accept all types of plastic, high density, low density. So that could be anything from plastic grocery shopping bags to detergent bottles. Any sort of plastic, they gather it, they clean it, they sort it, they grind it into different options. For us, we use a pellet, a granular. So it's a very standardized shape, but they also will make a filament or a yarn if you want to make a textile. So then as soon as we have the pellet, we can introduce that normal supply chain and how we go about making a watch of this sort.
Really, really interesting. So it's a pretty intensive process there, I guess, in many ways, much more complicated than the standard way you'd manufacture a watch.
All about the material, that definitely adds an extra layer to it, but it's important. Again, the idea of going and cleaning up waterways, oceanways. Skagen itself is named after a city in Denmark, Skagen. It's the most northern city in the Jutland. And as a coastal city, it has a heritage of a fishing village and as a seaport. So anytime that we can do something that affects waterways, cleaning those up, it's very exciting to us and something that we take seriously.
Tell us a little bit more about your focus on Danish design and heritage here.
Sure. So the brand was founded by two Danes, and it's something that we've just always kept true to the brand. We're currently working with Copenhagen Fashion Week. We have a number of collaborations that we do with Danish designers. It's something that's extremely important to us, and it's part of the DNA of our language. So not only in the design, but also then how we operate and how we go about choosing materials and how we like to operate as a company.
So how much of the actual watch is from the recycled plastic?
So in the example that I just showed you, all the bracelet links and the case are made from that material.
So the watch itself, that would be pretty impossible, I guess, to take the inner workings of a watch and do that.
The actual movement itself is not made from that. You're correct. Also, I like the buckle on the back for durability to make sure that it's operating and closing without being oversized. That's also a metal. But with this one, we definitely wanted the first thing that you see. The majority of the visible elements are this ocean plastic.
And the solar charging, I guess, is part of the messaging here too.
Yeah, so that again is just hopefully making good choices. That we've introduced quite a few solar movements or automatic movements, things that don't require constant battery changing. I think we have a pretty good collection of quartz styles, and the battery changes maybe every 3 to 5 years depending on usage, but there's something pretty magical too about just not having to worry about that. Instead of just hey, get outside, the sun will take care of it for you.
So tell us about the availability and pricing. This is a limited edition?
So it's part of a giant collection. So I think there's a total of 7 watches. The one that I've been showing is a limited edition. So we have the limited edition is a 37 millimeter. We measure the diameter of the center of the case. This is part of the main collection, so this is not limited. And then we also have a smaller version. This is 26. Down at this size, we actually have a recycled stainless steel case, and it uses the ocean plastic links. So the smaller size retails in the US for $175, and the larger size, whether the limited edition or the mainline, those are $195.
Tell me a little bit more about your full lineup, because you've got quite a range, I think.
We do have quite a range. I think we're very specific when we go about introducing new platforms. We want to make sure that they're offering something different, different looks, different sizes. Really, as we go about designing, introducing things in the line, we practice something called intentional design. So across all the different platforms, what that really means, we consider the user at every step. So within our collection, across all the platforms, you'll notice that they're lightweight and they're ergonomic. We want the watch to be wearable. We want it to be comfortable. We really pride ourselves that they're legible. The indexes, the time telling feature, that's something that's easy. We also really pay attention to clean surfaces and that minimal design, and we think that adds more of a timelessness to it. So, and a versatility, no matter what you're wearing or as your style might change, your watch is still something that's meaningful and something you can be proud to wear.
Tell us what you're doing in the smartwatch space as well, since we got
Sure.
plenty of our audience interested in that.
Sure. So for smartwatches, we have a touchscreen watch called our Falster. And that one, we're very excited about all the different iterations and the progression that we've made in that category. Coming soon, we have some sustainable elements that will be hitting that watch. But then we've also recently launched something called the Hybrid in this space. It's something that has the appearance and functionality of an analog watch, but also pairs it then with some of the smarts that are common in our Falster. So it kind of looks like a chronograph watch, but actually it's a smart watch as well. So it's a very cool in between for people that they don't want the full look of a touchscreen watch. They prefer more of the traditional watch, but they want some of that connectivity.
Terrific. For more info on all of this, where can people go?
Skagen.com would be a great resource for anything to do with Skagen watch or jewelry.
And again, SKAGEN.com. Ian Miller, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you so much, Fred. I greatly appreciate it.